Today we're diving into the heart-pumping fall finale of Chicago Fire and how our favorite show has yet again left us worried for our faves. This time it could be Sam Carver's end. Look, we get it, danger comes with a job, but come on. Still, if you're lost on who we're talking about, we've got all the deets for this new recruit. So, if you want to know the hell he was left in, let's go. First up, could this be the end for Carver? Okay, look, we know that being part of the Firehouse 51 family on Chicago Fire comes with danger, and it's sort of something you have to accept if you're going to continue watching for the wholesome yet chaotic family dynamics, which yes, they're still worth it. But you see, when we're left with an episode like the fall cliffhanger, come on, that's a teeny tiny bit unfair. Do you know how long it took for the adrenaline to wear off so that we could actually start worrying about Carver's fate? Honestly, someone tell us why on earth we're willing to watch a show about firefighters. And this wonderful show often pulls no punches when revealing who stays or leaves the crew. So of course, the season 11 fall finale vowed to deliver in spades on that stress, and politely leaving us on the edge of our seats throughout the goodbye. Truly, yay! Now we know recruits at Firehouse 51 come and go each season, either due to hazards on the job or being caught in political storms. It's great, we've learned not to attach ourselves to characters, but sometimes that's more difficult than others, and Sam Carver is one of them. Though he's stolen our hearts, whether or not he stays is another matter. According to one Chicago center, Carver is shaky in the field, which can make all the difference. He still hadn't connected with Firehouse 51, and because of that, he might take an early leave from the show. Next up, hell could rain down on Sam. Because of course, when have we known this show to be a smooth sail? And at this time, we'll be honest with you, it doesn't look good for the man. Well, if this show continues to lean on its intense reality, and if the showrunner's recent interview with TV Line is any hint, oh boy, we're going to see Carver getting hit with it. Well, more so than he already is. Honestly, this man has been jumping from the fire into the pen since he came on the show. He immediately created conflict with Stella Kidd, played by Miranda Rae Mayo, when coming onto the show. But co-showrunner Andrea Newman did tease that they'll come around to each other soon, at least more than they've ever before. And trust us, that's saying something. Unfortunately, Carver seems to attract fire. No, the irony of that isn't lost on us, but now he's about to experience it in a completely different way. A new challenge, if you will. But if you missed it, as teased by co-showrunner Derek Haas, a skirmish took place between Carver and a city official during a bridge rescue, and the event only escalated when it echoed through the head office, which, as we know, when the boss gets involved, it's always a good time. And as Andrea Newman teased, it was the beginning of a journey for Carver, specifically in figuring out how to fit in exactly, because he's possibly one of the more layered characters brought into 51. Following that, Jake Lockett leaving 51 may be unlikely. Now, we're not trying to give false hope to anyone, but we've got some theories that could save the man and help the fandom chill a little more at night. So what's the harm in listening? First off, because Emma Jacobs appeared to have a vendetta against Carver in Chicago Fire Season 11, Episode 9, he already became an intriguing character. Because how this man get on her bad side? And Jacobs was well known for causing problems at Firehouse 51, and she appeared again to strip Carver away from his position. So you could tell that something seriously went wrong between them, but their dynamic only became more interesting when she, surprisingly, didn't use her position to punish him. Still, again, there's still a chance that something happens to Carver that forces Lockett to leave the show. Like how the mid-season finale ended with Carver and Stella Kidd entering a building under the threat of a ticking bomb to assist an injured man. And of course, the bomb detonated and left us unclear about the character's fate. And the funny part, even if Carver survives, he still has to face the legal action being taken against him. Okay, so why do we think he'll survive? At least for now, is because of his character development and the effort the creators have put into it. So we doubt he'll be killed or seriously injured by the explosion. Instead, we believe the ordeal will bring him closer to Kidd. Let's talk about Carver's mysterious past. Again, another reason why the man may not be going anywhere anytime soon. Look, we all remember that Sam's introduction wasn't the smoothest of times. Well, Chief Bowden did introduce him with glowing praise, but Stella, on the other hand, assigned him a less demanding task on his first job. If anyone has seen Zootopia here, yeah, it was kind of like that situation. Stella very much said that Carver still had to prove himself to her, even when Bowden asked about the assignment choice. And honestly, Carver shined even brighter in Season 11, Episode 2, when he helped Stella on a case involving a man who was harmed at a power plant. His company attempts to avoid liability, and both Carver and Stella Stella assist in resolving the situation. As you can imagine, it was a sticky situation all around, but Sam didn't back down from the mess, so naturally he'd grown on Stella, and we saw him as someone with a clear direction in his mind. Well, that's until Carver gets arrested in Season 11, Episode 4, after being included in a drunken pub fight, and Stella becomes the only person who can help him out. Of course, this event only led to her confusion about his past and where in the world this man's character came from. It also didn't help that Carver went on to tell Stella not to worry about who he is outside of 51, which, yeah, sure buddy. See, there's more to uncover. Up next, the story behind Sam's scar. Honestly, trust us, at this point, well, unless the writers are able to give us one big flashback episode, with all of Carver's background that led him to this moment, one of the reasons is literally from the first episode when the camera moves to a scar on his arm. And even though it appears to be intense, there's no explanation given. It just becomes part of his character. Still, Andrea Newman, co-showrunner of Chicago Fire, told NBC Insider that they've figured out the background for the scar, but they'll get to it later, because again, this show will keep us in a chokehold if it's the last thing they do. Well, that does give us free reign on what the scar could be about. Let's see, maybe a knife-throwing competition, a robbery gone wrong in his teens. Who knows, but all theories are on the table right now. Especially because when Carver was asked about his scar in Season 11, Episode 2, he explained that he got it in a house fire. On the other hand, Stella saw right through this lie and called him out at Molly's, and even told him that she has things from her past she'd like to change the story about, but that doesn't excuse him for lying. So if he wants to do that, then there's a spot open for him at Truck 81. Of course, being the closed-off mystery man he is, this is another untrodden path we must go on. Lastly, his consequences will affect the Firehouse, unfortunately. But when a city official has to file a complaint to your boss, the whole house could come under great fire. Oh, come on. Don't think we're above a good pun. Never. Either way, after this situation is done and dusted, we'd still have the inner house tension to deal with. Derek Haas, co-showrunner, did add that Sam Carver is valuable to the team because it isn't a mystery that he's a good firefighter. And that is, of course, significant to everything, even with his sorta unstable personality outside of work. But everything else that comes with saying that, it needs to be discussed quickly so that the team doesn't look unbalanced with his addition.
Every dive gear they've got left over.
You going in?
If I can find what I need.
Because if that becomes the truth, well then yeah, he'll be gone after that. Still, if we're going to deal with some of the more sinister places he ends up in, Stella will be affected by all of that. And unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for the second round of Season 11 to return after the fall break to get a picture of exactly where our heroes have been left off. That's a wrap for this video. Tell us what your reaction was to the fall finale of our beloved chaotic show. And what do you think is Carver's fate? Can he really survive all of these fires? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.